Hi, I'm Tiffany Disneys, and uh, I wanted to talk about volunteering, or technically my service learning project, which unfortunately this quarter I didn't have time to go and volunteer. Um, but I do have some volunteering under my belt, such as for Bloomsday, I used to volunteer for Holy Family Hospital when it comes to holding out Vaseline. I'd hold it out on a little plate. People would come by, swap it in, put it on their lips, or put it in chafing areas. But besides that, because that doesn't really connect to this, um, there is this one time. It was my freshman year of high school. I actually went and volunteered at Royal Plaza Retirement Center or retirement home. And there I spent about 2 to 3 hours, and it was to socialize with the elderly. And what I had done was I enjoyed lunch with them, I chatted with them, I had gone and played bingo, and they seemed to really enjoy my company. And I had learned that they are pretty, they are treated nicely by those at the retirement home, but at the same time, they do miss their family. And consequently, this makes them, homesick. So when they have visitors, they get really excited and just talk a whole lot, which luckily I got to hear their stories, and they were just thrilled to have me there, and they whooped my butt at bingo, uh, which they were really happy about. And it was a rainy day, and surprisingly, they really love it when it rains. Uh, they said it like it freshens the earth, and I thought that was interesting. But one thing I really did notice is how nervous I was to go, because I was worried that I would be thought of as too young or rebellious, because I always thought elderly just looked at the teenagers like they were just troublemakers. So I didn't want to be shunned or anything. And then once I got there, I started having some icebreakers. Some of the elderly women started talking to me first, and they just I just started asking them questions about their lives, and that's when they really opened up, and they absolutely love talking about what happened in their life, you know. Um, and then afterwards, I gained a whole new respect for them. Like, I just feel so bad that they get so homesick because no one really comes and sees them. Granted, there were a few that would brag about their lunch dates with their son coming up, and they just lit up like a light bulb or a brand new light bulb, you know. And then there's also uh, two elderly women that I help out with, and I help do yard work for them. Every once in a while, I conversate with them and I visit with them, and I've even gotten them Christmas cards and some jelly because we make some really good jelly. But yeah, so they really enjoy my company. I even chauffeured one around, and uh, I took when I say I took care of their yard work, this summer there was a massive windstorm or thunderstorms. Well, their yard had a lot of damage and wreckage, and I helped clean it up. Now, I didn't do nothing that the city did, and I didn't do no work with a chainsaw, but I did what I could. I did what I could, as in spruce it up, pick up some of the debris, and yeah, I may not have done any service learning this quarter, but I have done a lot of volunteering, and this quarter was just too overwhelming to actually go and do some volunteer work. So yeah, that's that's about it. Except for the fact that I have gotten a deeper understanding, and I think elderly, I look at them differently. I look at them not as intimidating or only people who look at kids or teenagers like they're nothing but trouble, but I look at them as information holders, or they have so much to tell in their stories, and that's one thing that they love to talk about is their life stories, because then they relive it and then they just love it. And one thing I learned is they love being a huge inspiration. So yeah, that's a few things I learned from my experience of volunteering. Granted, it wasn't this quarter, unfortunately. But yeah, so that about wraps it up. Ciao!